Welcome back to Explaining Everything, the channel where we dive into the stories and mysteries behind everyday things you don't even notice. Today's question comes from one of our curious viewers, Rubber Duck Ruler. Thanks for the suggestion, Duck. You asked, what's the purpose of the tiny hole in pen caps? Is it for air pressure? Ink flow? Some weird design choice? If you've ever absent-mindedly chewed on a pen cap, no judgment. You might have noticed that small hole and wondered why it's there. And no, it's not just a random design quirk. It actually has a super important purpose. In fact, that little hole could save your life. So if you've ever questioned why pen manufacturers punch a hole in their caps instead of just leaving them solid, stick around. We're uncovering the truth behind this tiny but mighty feature right here on Explaining Everything. All right, let's get straight to it. That hole? It's there to stop you from choking to death. Yep. Turns out, people, especially kids, like to put things in their mouths. And unfortunately, pen caps are the perfect size to get lodged in your throat if accidentally swallowed. If a pen cap gets stuck in your airway, it can completely block airflow. That's where the hole comes in. It ensures that even if someone swallows the cap, a small amount of air can still pass through, buying precious time until help arrives. So next time you see that tiny hole, don't think design choice. Think emergency air vent for your trachea. Now, if you're wondering, did people really choke on pen caps that often? The answer is, unfortunately, yes. In the 1980s and early 1990s, choking on small objects was a huge concern, especially for kids. BIC, one of the biggest pen manufacturers in the world, noticed that their pen caps were a common culprit. So, in 1991, they introduced caps with small holes as a safety measure. The design quickly caught on, and now most major pen brands include this feature. It's a simple fix that has likely saved countless lives. So shout out to BIC for realizing that humanity cannot be trusted with small objects and taking action. At this point, someone in the comments is probably already typing, "Actually, I heard it's for airflow and ink regulation." Okay, yes, sometimes the hole also helps with air pressure. If you've ever had a pen that refused to write until you scribbled aggressively on a piece of paper, air pressure imbalance might be the reason. Some pen designs use the hole to equalize pressure, preventing ink from getting stuck. This is especially useful in certain click pens, where the cap is designed to create a partial vacuum when closed. But let's be real, the life-saving part is the main reason the hole exists. The ink flow thing is just a bonus. Of course, not all pens have this feature. If you grab a fancy metal pen or a super cheap off-brand pen, you might notice the cap is completely sealed. That means two things. One, if you chew on your pen caps, which you shouldn't be doing anyway, be extra careful. Two, if you happen to choke on one, please don't. There's no built-in backup air supply. This is why high-quality plastic pens almost always have the hole. Companies know people will inevitably put things in their mouths. So if your pen cap doesn't have a hole, maybe opt for a different snack. Now, you might be wondering, okay, but how many lives has this actually saved? Exact numbers are hard to come by, But choking is a major cause of accidental deaths, especially in children. Small objects like toys, batteries, and yes, pen caps are among the top offenders. By adding that little hole, pen companies have drastically reduced the risk of a completely blocked airway. And let's be honest, if you have to go, choking on a pen cap is not the way you want to be remembered. Imagine your obituary. Here lies Alex, taken too soon, fell victim to a rogue ballpoint pen cap. Not ideal. Pen caps aren't the only everyday items designed to secretly keep us alive. Here are a couple of others. Soda bottle caps. Ever notice that little plastic ring that stays behind when you open a new soda? It helps keep carbonation in and also prevents kids from swallowing the entire cap. Toothpaste tubes. The hole inside the cap isn't just for squeezing out the perfect amount. It prevents kids from swallowing a large glob all at once. Car headrests. The metal rods aren't just for adjusting height. They can actually be pulled out and used to break a car window in an emergency. So, the next time you think a small design feature is pointless, remember, it might just be secretly protecting you. So, what did we learn today? That tiny hole in pen caps isn't just there for fun. It's a crucial safety feature that prevents choking deaths. While it sometimes helps with ink flow, its main purpose is to make sure you don't suffocate if you accidentally swallow your pen cap. And honestly, we should all take a moment to appreciate the engineers who thought, people are definitely gonna put these in their mouths. Let's make sure they don't die. Next time you see someone casually chewing on a pen cap, feel free to hit them with this knowledge. Or, better yet, tell them to stop chewing on pen caps altogether. If you made it this far in the video, and if you now learned the real purpose of that tiny hole on your pen caps, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, if you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for tuning in, and join us next time here in the channel that answers all the why, what, who, where, and how questions you've always wondered about, here on Explaining Everything.